Welcome to the Core of Success podcast. Entrepreneurship, success, health, life, big things are in your future. And now, your hosts, Sean and Mike.
Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 18 of the Core of Success podcast. How about that? We did 18. Goal for the year was 20. I think we're tracking
20?
well, Mike.
Man, that's great. You know, we might have to do 21.
Maybe, just because. One more.
Extra.
One extra,
man.
Good lesson there, for sure.
I love it.
Listen, thank you, everybody, for being with us. Hopefully, you're getting some value out of this.
Yeah.
If you are, leave a review. Let us know. A couple of people hit us up on LinkedIn, said some nice things of what they've been enjoying. That's really helpful. But, today I wanted to talk about something. I think it's timely because of, the actual season that we're in.
Yes.
And, the holidays are here. So I'm calling it 'Tis the Season, Mike. Because 'tis the season. And, it's a season for holidays and joy and all that. But it's also a time in business where a lot of people tend to do what?
Let their foot off the gas for sure, man. Big time.
Yeah, they let up, right? They let up. And we see it every year. It's nothing new. Right, especially this time is interesting because we just came off of Thanksgiving this year. It was late in the year, and we're heading into the Christmas season, the holiday season.
Now,
So a lot of chance to let up, as you say. But why do you think that happens?
Well, I think it's folks get distracted a lot of times with things that are going on, right? They have their own family stuff going on, the pressures, even if you will, of the parties and whatnot. But I think also, and probably more important, is sometimes we're sold on the fact that no one's working.
Ah, good one.
Right? That no one's working, or what's the sense of, for me, to really keep my foot on the gas because no one else is working. Let me just wait till after the new year, because that's what my customers are going to tell me anyway, right? Hey, Mike, let's catch up in 2020.
Right. And they do hear that from time to time, right?
100%.
So I think people have the tendency, as you say, they extrapolate. A couple people said that, it must be everybody saying that.
Yeah. Right.
And that's not good. But what do you think? I think some people have said to themselves, well, I've done enough this year. Let's say they've had a good year so far. So a lot of people have, God bless, right? But I've done enough. So let me take my foot off the gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, look, I mean, that's the thing, right? If you look at your numbers and if you're in that position where you hit your number for the year, awesome, good for you. But what we're going to talk about today is how you can really build on that and just crush the rest of the year, because this is a month where you could really, even if you're at your number right now, which again, I think most people are not right now, right? Let's face reality. But even if you are there, or damn, if you're close, this is your time to win.
Yes. And the other side of that coin, I think some people, who maybe haven't had the best year yet, and they say, well, I've already missed goal and nobody's buying, right? So they start to give up. Yeah. So some people, if you're on the one side of the equation, I've done enough this year, right? I hit my first target. Maybe I didn't hit my stretch goal, but I hit my first target. So I've done enough. And the other side, well, I've already missed. There's no way I'm going to make it because of what you said before. Nobody's buying anyway.
Yeah, no one's working, no one's buying. And, I'll be honest, that's bullshit, number one. And we're going to talk about that today, on why it is bullshit and why, again, and how you can win during this time. Because you really can win if you stay disciplined, you stay with your routine, all that. Really key, for sure.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what we're saying is that people make excuses, right? And that's all that it is. Yeah. They're making excuses. And this time of year is no different. It's just magnified a little bit more. People can make excuses any time of the year. Oh, it's 4th of July. It's Labor Day. It's my dog's birthday, whatever it is. Excuses not to put in the work. Right. And that's a problem. But this time of year definitely lends itself to it. But obviously, in doing so, there are a lot of risks in your business. And what have you seen there on some of your team and in business in general? What are some of the risks of letting up this time of year?
Well, obviously, the risk of missing out on a ton of opportunity. Mm-hmm. Just a ton of sales and closing deals that you can close right now.
Yeah.
But I'll say something maybe that folks have not thought about.
Oh, good.
And this is really key, in that if you take your foot off the gas now, you're going to hurt in not just right now, but 30 days down the road, 60 days down the road, or 90 days even, because you're not prospecting. You're not putting in the work now. So then come the new year, January, February, you have an empty pipeline and you're going to wonder why. Well, because in December, I basically bullshitted and took most of the month off. I wasn't prospecting. I wasn't doing the work that I've been doing all year. So now that first part of the quarter, man, you're going to be really desperate mode. So that's where really, especially in sales, man, it can really bite you if you take your foot off the gas. Is that not just right now, but 30, 60, even 90 days down the road.
That is a fantastic point. You're right. I think a lot of people don't think like that. That the call I'm making today may harvest fruit 30, 60, 90 or more days from now.
Absolutely.
So it's a great point that you're saying. Even if nobody's buying right now, which we all agree, well, in this room, we agree is not true, right?
That's
we don't know when people are going to buy. But even if you're sold on that fact, nobody's buying, great. Well, they will be in 30 days. So start making those calls so that you're ready. You've planted the seeds. You're front of mind. So yeah, it's a great point. I think it is a huge risk that you're just setting yourself up for failure down the road too. Not only are you going to miss goal this month, but potentially next month and the month after. And we see it, even with the holiday that just passed, 4-day weekend a lot of people are taking. Great, God bless, get your rest. But here's the thing, business doesn't stop. This isn't 1964 when the world shuts down. It's 2020.
No.
And the world keeps going. So when people came back to work, it's like, holy cow, there's a backlog, right? So if you're taking that foot off the gas, that's the other risk that I see is you're going to end up under a weight of work in 30 days that you should have been doing now so that you can really be running full steam ahead when that new year hits.
Yeah, I mean, look, we both have families and young children. And you have to take the time, or, we love spending time with our family, taking the time. You got to put that aside. That's absolutely critical. However, it's not the whole month.
No.
So it's a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a freaking week. It's not 3 weeks. It's not a month. It's a day or two here and there, especially with us for we celebrate Christmas. Whatever holiday you celebrate, it's that day.
Right.
Celebrate with your family. That, just like Thanksgiving, right? Hey, it's a great day, Friday, back at it, right?
Yep.
Back at it on the phone. Because that's, again, people that are entrepreneurs, people that own their own businesses, people that I'm talking to and selling to, they're working.
Absolutely.
They're working because they're trying to do exactly what we're doing.
Right.
They're trying to put more food on the table. They're trying to, buy those Christmas gifts and holiday gifts, et cetera. They're working. So, yeah, that's the key, man. It's a holiday, not a whole month, right?
Absolutely. And, here at the Core of Success, we are about winning, right?
Damn
we are
right.
about success
Right.
and trying to share some of the tools that are going to get you there. And we try to talk to people who win, right?
Yeah.
So that we can take some of those lessons, win ourselves, and help others win. We're perpetuating the cycle of winning.
Absolutely.
But in some of those conversations that you've had that you just referenced, what do people who win this time of year seem to know that other people do not?
Well, what they do know is that this is their opportunity to really stand out.
Yeah.
And a lot of decision makers, what I've found, change their habits sometimes this time of year, whether it's the spirit of the holidays. Sometimes they're more available, actually, because less people are calling them.
Yeah.
The business may tend to take a little bit of a turn because maybe less people are in the office, possibly. So maybe the CEO, maybe the decision maker is more apt to pick up the phone, to answer an email.
Yep.
But I specifically think the phone is the best way right now to get in touch with people. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of times, like, you feel, hey, oh yeah, this guy's been calling me. Let me take his call today.
Mm-hmm.
You just you feel in that spirit. That's the opportunity to capitalize right there.
Yeah, I think it's a good phrase you just said, stand out, right?
Yes.
You're standing out.
Yeah.
And you're right, the phone is a great way because how many people are just going to send the obligatory, oh, happy holidays, enjoy the season. But you picked up the phone, A, it's a little bit of extra effort, which I think is fantastic. And B, like you're right, if people are letting up, but you're ringing that phone, you're standing out. Wow, these guys work hard. Because if you're working hard during this holiday time when others are letting up, I bet you they're thinking they're going to be working hard for me during regular time as well. When I have a problem, when I need something, that guy's going to be there.
Absolutely.
He's calling me the week of Christmas. He's going to be there when I need him no matter what. And I think that's huge to, as you said, stand out. The other thing that I think that winners know that others often do not is the fact that a majority of people are letting up. So that presents a huge opportunity. People are going to let up. Shoot, I'm not going to let up. I am going to blow right past you at this time of day because I know that about you. I know my competition is posting on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever about the holiday festivities that they're engaging in. Well, if they're doing that, they're letting up. Now is my opportunity. Let me seize it.
Yeah, and I think, again, we're big UFC fans and, combat sports fans. It's almost like when a fighter senses the other fighter, he sees blood or he sees the other fighter's tired. That's when it gives you more energy. That's when you turn it on even harder, right?
Yep.
So man, like even if you hear from some of your boys in the industry or some of your friends, right? Oh yeah, we're blowing off. We're taking 4 days off. Hey man, I use that. Great, awesome. Guess
Enjoy.
what? I'm gonna call.
Yeah,
I'm getting on the phone and calling these guys. And again, it's just, and as a CEO. When people are working, and like you said, it's a great point you made as far as when they're working during this time of year, like it's a respect thing too, right? You respect that.
Yep.
Like, man, this guy or this girl, she's really on point. Like, and she's going to be there for me when I need her. Yeah, it's a great point there.
Yeah, and the other thing I think that's worth mentioning is that people who win this time of year are willing to do certain things that others are not,
yes.
Right? They're willing to put in that extra effort. So in the couple podcasts ago, when we had our good friend Michael from Taiwan, a World Gym Taiwan on, he talked a lot about habits. Yes. And I think those habits, there are habits this time of year, good or bad. Mm-hmm. So in your experience, when you're looking at these people who win, what are some of the habits that they have that others do not?
Well, I think first of all, if they have good habits established during the year, they stay with that routine.
Yeah.
They don't deviate from it.
Yeah.
They stay with that. And that's the thing. Like, you can't let your foot off the gas. If you're making your calls, you're prospecting, you have to stay with that plan and with that routine. Again, easily, at least, it's been said, easy to get distracted this time of year. You can't let that happen. You have to continue with your routine that got you to the path that's going to enable you to win. You have to do it. I'll say something too, a tip that I usually use. It's great to go ahead and call your customers. Thank you so much for your support during the year. Really appreciate it. You have your holiday talk. That's great because, you're touching base, but don't let it stop right there.
Right.
Oh, by the way, what are your current needs? What are you looking to do in the new year?
Mm-hmm.
Don't end the conversation with, hey, have a great holiday. I'll talk to you in 2 months. Find out where they're at. Because again, you have that opportunity to get somebody on the phone. You're thanking them. You're leading with gratitude, which is fantastic. Don't let it die right there. Find out what's going on in their world right now or what they're going to be doing. And then you can maybe capitalize and close a deal right there.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that, as you said, they're sticking with their routine.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about that is this doesn't only apply to sales and business, right?
No.
Talk about here at the Core of Success, we want you to be successful in your nutrition, your health,
Absolutely.
Your relationships, and all those things. But a lot of those things go by the wayside too, right? See, a lot of people are talking to somebody today, I'm on a detox. Well, why? Well, I ate too much over the holidays. Because you broke routine, right?
Yes.
And we all get there, and it's a good reset. I understand that. But you can't, it's very hard to go on a business detox, right? Oh, I'm going to stop goofing off and get back into call and prospecting mode or
Right.
doing all the things that I need to do. You have to stay with your routine. Because here's what I can tell you, Mike, and this may be earth or mind-blowing to you.
Right.
But whether or not you stay with your routine,
Yeah.
the holidays are coming. So you don't need to change anything
Right.
in order to get to the holidays. They're
Right.
coming.
Yeah,
So why not just stick with your routine and get there on a high note as opposed to I really let up and let myself down.
Yeah, 100%. And look, we know it's almost like when you have that great workout and you go all in. Same thing here. Wouldn't you rather go into the holiday knowing, man, that you laid it all out, you left it all on the field, so to speak. You gave everything you could, everything you had. So this way, when you do take the time off for that day or what have you, you can really enjoy it, knowing that you did everything you possibly could do to help you, to help your company going into that. That to me, so when you're enjoying the time with your family, you're present, you're right there with them, right? You're not thinking about, I should have did this. There's no regrets. Man, I left it all on the field. Now I can enjoy my holiday with my family.
And,
Period.
it kind of leads right into the next point about what the soundbite, the popular soundbite is. This time of year, you need to stay focused. stay focused on the goals, stay focused on the outcome, blah, blah, blah. Easy to say, right?
Yeah.
Easy to say. But how do you do it? How do you stay focused? And I think you just referenced a great one in being present. Talk a little bit about that, because you're saying be present on that holiday, right? On Christmas Day or whether you're celebrating Hanukkah or whatever holiday you're celebrating, be present with your family. Great. But doesn't the same thing also apply to your work leading into the holidays?
Absolutely. On every call, you have to be present.
Yep.
And it goes a lot of this goes right back to your purpose too.
Yep.
Like when you're making the call, why are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll straight up tell my customers, look, the purpose of this call, if I haven't spoke to them, purpose of this call is to get my products on your gym floor.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's the purpose of this call, because we're going to change lives from the core. We're going to help your members look better, feel better, the whole thing. But you stay present. You stay right in that call. That's the key. You're not thinking about later Friday. You really have to stay present and do whatever you got to do to take you back to it. But really, what helps me is, again, staying with your purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? You know, that doesn't take a break. Right. You got to stay on top of that for sure. Whether your family, here at work, that's what winners do.
Yeah, they have their goals. They know what they are, but they understand why they have those goals.
Yep.
What's going to be the result of me accomplishing those goals? You know, one of the things that's really important here at the Abs Company is giving back, right? We just worked with a wonderful organization this past week at Thanksgiving, donated 150 meals to people who needed it at the holidays. What a great why to hit our goals. We did that because we hit the lofty goal that we set heading into Thanksgiving. Easy to let your foot off the gas knowing that, Thanksgiving's coming. But the team knowing that there was a why, there was a purpose in there, that, hey, if we hit this, we can do something really good for somebody else. That's going to keep you motivated. So I think knowing your why and staying present is exactly how you stay focused this time of year when there are so many distractions out there.
Yeah, and that's actually a really great point, because that really did keep our team focused, you know, as far as the purpose. Yeah, we wanted to hit our goal. We wanted to win, but there was a bigger reason why.
Yep.
You know, especially around Thanksgiving, you know, 150 meals to folks that maybe wouldn't have a really nice meal on Thanksgiving. That drives everyone for sure. And if it doesn't, then you're in the wrong business.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So as we come into this time, you know, it's a shortened period this year too, right? We only have about 3 weeks. The holiday falls right in the middle of the week. So you got about 3 working weeks. So what do you have to be willing to do this time of year in order to win?
I think number one, you got to be disciplined with your time.
Yes.
You have to be disciplined with your time. You may have to say no to some parties or some things that you just can't do.
Yep.
Because you're a professional.
Yep.
You know, and this is, your family's relying on you, your company's relying on you. Again, it's staying focused, staying present. You may have to say no, but I think it's really being disciplined with your time, and pick your spots to celebrate. Really do. Pick your spots. We're not saying obviously all work and don't play, but you got to pick your spots. I'm not saying, again, take the entire month off or go out partying for 4 days. If you go out partying tonight, you drag yourself along with you all day tomorrow. You're going to have a shit day. You're not going to be on point. Think about that before you go out, right? Pick your spots for sure. You
have to be willing to delay that gratification a little bit. As you said, stay disciplined.
Yep.
And, you know, as a professional, you have to turn off the noise. Like you said before, we hear from colleagues, nobody's buying. It's time to shut it down, where we know that that's not true. We're going to blow past you at this point.
Damn right.
But I would caution people also, even the folks around you in the office, right? Because sometimes we all need to pick each other up in these situations. Somebody's saying, it's okay, holidays are coming. No, don't agree to that. That's BS. No, let's keep going. Yes. Remember at Thanksgiving, we did this. We were able to serve 150 meals. Let's do better than that, right? You motivate each other because there is so much noise. The media is telling us that it's coming, right? They're telling us about shopping.
Right.
You know, I saw a great stat yesterday. They said yesterday was going to be one of the greatest Cyber Mondays in history. Over $9 billion in sales. But the interesting statistic that to me was that the bulk of those sales were happening between 7 and 10 p.m. Pacific time. Pacific time.
So people
it's late at night. No, late at night. After work.
Okay.
And the statistics show when they looked at that, because you would think traditionally, people are going to be doing all this shopping during work, right? But they really weren't, which was really neat to see when they showed where the sales came from. And we even saw it on our own e-commerce. They were coming in later at night, which was great to see. So maybe people were, having the same mindset that, you know what, let me stay focused on my goals and do the things that I need to do, because I can do that other stuff later when I'm off of the clock, so to speak. And I think it's really important, because if they get distracted and they're not present, you're going to miss these opportunities, which is, going to be the downfall for sure.
Yeah, it's picking your spots, stay disciplined, stay with what worked the whole entire year, right? Stay what's working. Don't take your foot off the gas. And it's all, and like you said, if you see other people, you lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
Get right into it. Start working, get into the calls. Once you start winning, once you start closing deals, once you start ringing the bell, other people are like, oh, okay. It's contagious.
Yeah.
Just like messing around's contagious. Just like goofing off's contagious the same way.
Yep.
So you stay focused. You stay purposeful in what you're doing. Others will follow for sure.
Yeah, what message and what example do you want to follow out there? Which brings us right into leadership, right? You and I are leaders here at the business, and I'm sure many of the people listening are also leaders in their business.
Yeah.
So as leaders, we have to be aware of this potential downfall this time of year. And so what are some things that we can do as leaders to help keep our teams motivated and focused this time of year?
I think number one is you have to maintain the standards
Yep.
and expectations
Yep.
for sure. I think an easy one is you lead by example.
Yep.
Right? You're not coming in and goofing off and messing around, and you're doing what you got to do, right? And others will fall in line, you would hope. But I think it's maintaining those standards, maintaining those expectations. This is how we do it here. Right. Yeah, hey, we're gonna have a year-end party, or we're gonna do this. Great. That's then. Right now, we're here to work. Yep. Right now, we're here to change lives. Right now, this is what we're doing. So I think it's, again, just reinforcing that. Hey, this time of year, and talking about what we're talking about. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to fall into some of those ruts. We're not going to do that here. Right. And here's why.
It's not our way.
That's right.
And it's to me, it's that getting out in front of it. We had an all hands meeting yesterday, and it's exactly what we did.
Yep.
We acknowledged it, right? We know that this happens. This isn't anything new. But let's talk about it. Here's why this happens. Here's the downfalls, and here's how we are going to avoid it. And here's what's going to happen when we do. But I love what you said, maintaining those standards, because it's easy as a leader to not want to be, to use a holiday reference, you don't want to be the Grinch, right? You don't want to come in and say, oh, hey, why aren't you doing this, that, and the other thing? Well, you would do that any other time of year if you're a good leader. You're holding people to standard. So it goes back to what we said earlier. It's maintaining those habits throughout the year. This time of year, from a business standpoint, really is no different than any other time of year. The business must go on, right? The business and the needs of the business are still there. The lion still eats first, as I like to say. So if you maintain those standards and keep those habits, you can win. And it's a compound effect, because we know that so much of our competition is not going to win this time of year.
Yeah, and with our business, as many of you know, we are in the fitness business, and now is the time.
Yep.
Right? So even extra gas, extra incentive to go all in. You have to, because now is the time when, we're talking to our customers about bringing new stuff in, bringing new equipment in, new toys and new tools that are going to help you sell membership and close deals on your end. Well, now's the time to talk about that.
Yep.
So again, this is a great time for us. I don't know of any business that should shut down of all, but I know this business, and this is our time right now for sure. Moving
100%.
into that new year.
You use the word incentivize.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting term this time of year too, because the reality is that there is that mentality of slowing down, like we talked about. We will talk to our teams, and I hope everybody listening does as well, about the downfalls and how you get past that. But sometimes people need a little bit of extra motivation, right? So what are some ways that you can incentivize a team this time of year?
Well, I think just like we did, you have different sales contests, even is a great way. And you have a certain goal and it's not just individual goals, because look, we all have those individual numbers that we're going to hit. And that should, you would think, be motivation enough.
Yeah.
However, some of those sales contests where everyone's included, everyone's involved, like we say, the whole continuum of, everyone's included, everyone's involved, and everybody counts.
Yep.
That's really key, because this way, when you have these types of contests or that certain goal you want to hit, look, if you're messing around, you're taking 2-3 days off, or you're goofing off at work, man, you're hurting us. You're hurting the whole team.
Yeah.
So I think that will curtail that quite a bit, especially when you have that goal. And look, the other folks, they'll police themselves on that too. Like, hey, man, we're trying to hit this goal.
Yeah.
I need you to be here at work.
Yeah.
And when you do come to work, I need you to work.
Yeah, and it's especially magnified in small business, right?
Yes.
There's no free seats here.
No.
I was watching the show the other day. I don't know if you watched any of Alex Rodriguez's new business show he had back in the game. It's pretty good.
I saw him with Holyfield the other night.
Yeah, he was on there. The guy from remember the other guy who was with Ryan Seacrest, Ryan Dunkelman, when American Idol first started.
Oh, jeez.
Said one of the biggest mistakes in showbiz history. He quit American Idol, right? And Seacrest kept going.
Yeah,
but
that was a good decision. That was like the guy that quit the Beatles.
Right. What was his name?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
No one cares.
Nobody cares. But it was interesting because A-Rod's pretty tough on the show. He's gotten a lot into business himself, investing, real estate, and so forth. Yep. He's tough. He doesn't take excuses, and he made a great term. He said there are no scholarships in business, right? There's no free ride in here. You have to put in the work to get the result. And it's a great statement this time of year. There's no scholarship because it's the holiday. People aren't just going to send you orders because it's a gift, the holiday. You still have to be solving their problem. But incentivizing them with a contest is great. And especially I love the contest you put together for the team here over the Thanksgiving because it did really involve our continuum. Yeah. And, we haven't really talked too much about the continuum here. We've referenced it a few times, but we'll do an episode on it. But in general, we believe that there is no department that's more important than the others, right?
That's right.
So when the sales contest was going down, obviously salespeople had to sell, but marketing kicked into high gear to get you guys' attention.
Right.
Ops kicked into high gear to make sure there was inventory, to make sure the orders were processed, make sure things shipped on time.
Freight quotes
So you could close deals. Finance was there to make sure that we were getting the financing we needed if someone wanted, some extended payment terms, to making sure that people who we're on terms paid us actually so that the whole thing could keep going. Absolutely. Every department was touched. And as you said, they were pushing each other, which is a beautiful thing to see because sometimes people just think, oh, well, sales will do it. No, they'll get the glory. No, in this case, everybody was participating and everybody was rewarded. That was the beautiful thing about it. So there really was complete buy-in from the entire company. And I think that's a great thing to do this time of year.
Yeah, look, how cool is it if you're going to have a year-end celebration, a year-end party, that it's not just because of a holiday. It's because you really hit a goal or you hit you're really living your purpose.
Yep.
That, to me, it's almost like, again, leaving it all out on the field, man. When you go all in, hey, this is what we accomplished together, man, it's going to be a hell of a lot better party than people would stand in there with regrets or, some other stuff. It's when you go all in like that and everybody's involved, everybody feels a part of, man, and valued, right? That's huge. So yeah, definitely look at some incentives, look at some contests, be creative, do things. Like say, for example, if you have more inventory than other, just be creative. What charity you're going to donate to. I think that gets a lot of folks involved, especially if it's something that's near and dear to them.
Yeah, let them pick it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, this is a charity that has really, helped me, or maybe you have a family member or such, You put that out there, like if we hit this goal, we're going to donate this.
Yeah.
Man, who's not going to buy into that, right?
Yeah, I think people by nature have some competitiveness in them, right? Even some people say, oh, I'm not a competitive person. I think in some sense we all are. And if you can tap into that, it'll help drive these competitions, and especially this time of year when focus can wane. But the other thing that I think is important for people to understand is that the incentive doesn't have to be big, right? It doesn't have to be a huge thing. Oh, if we hit goal, everybody's going to get $500. You're a small business. You can't do that at this point. But what could you do? Could you bring everybody to the movies? Could you get everybody a $10 card for gasoline for their car? Whatever that is, right? Or make this donation, as you said, to a charity of their choice. Whatever it is, it's setting a common goal that everybody can get behind and work toward. I think that's the power of it for sure. But having these simple incentives will help to keep people focused toward the bigger reason this time of year especially.
Yeah, and think about it too, right? The momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Big on sports analogies and things, but the team with the momentum typically wins, right? Whether it's on a football field, in a fight, that momentum that you're building, you hit that goal at the end, whatever it is, like you said, and then you carry that into the new year. So you're not just, we start at zero, right? We all know that sales, boom, it starts zero. But that momentum of accomplishing your goal, of winning, you're building out. You want to win more because winning, you want to win more.
Coming off a winning season,
absolutely, man. You want to
fired up. To keep going.
For sure. Hey, we can do this. If we did this, we can do this. So that momentum you build on that is I think is a great idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man.
Well, listen, as great as this is, As we've been talking about this time of year now, we are going to blow past our competition.
That's right.
So I want to leave this here. Hopefully we've left some good food for thought for anybody that's listening. Remember, stay focused this season. Stick with what got you, as Mike said. Keep developing those habits that are going to lead you to win. But until next time, guys, remember that the core of success is you.
Big things!